Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know as of 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're live, bud.
I was gonna see, is there any way that I could like share what I'm looking at?
Was playing around with it earlier and I couldn't figure out a way. I think we might have to get like a third party app,
Oh, okay.
but I can always, when I edit this, I can throw something up. If you just send me a screenshot of it or whatever.
Yeah, because I think that we'll have to do like an app or something.
So
But-
do you have those countries in the Middle East that we were talking about?
I'm still in the process of looking it up back in when I was there. I've got it currently.
What is it? Yeah, I'm curious to know what it is now.
Yeah, so get this. Right now for 2022, let me expand this a little bit more. It says that I'm looking at the map. Cuba, Bolivia, which is in South America, Assyria, Middle East, Iran, Middle East, and Russia are the only ones that don't have a Rothschild bank in them.
Same again?
Yeah, there's only 5.
5. Okay.
Cuba, Bolivia, Syria, Iran, and Russia. Those are the only 5 countries on the planet that don't have a Rothschild banking system. And they try to get us, well, Obama tried to get us to go into another war with Syria, if you remember that, toward the end of his second term. And who do we have sanctions on right now? What countries does the United States have sanctions on right now? Russia,
Iran,
and Cuba.
Oh, that's right. They added them back onto Cuba.
And so, and then we got Bolivia. So is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I just don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I believe back then, if I remember, I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
when you
and
were in.
back when I was in, and it was Iraq, Libya, and there was a couple other ones I just don't remember. I think it was Afghanistan and might have been Pakistan, but I mean, all those countries we went to war with. So what I think is happening, and I've heard this from other, I've heard this being said from, a couple other people talking about it, a couple other podcasters talking about it, saying that they'll go in, they'll offer, hey, become a part of the Rothschild banking system. We'll give you a little bit of cash, or there'll be a little bit of perks associated with it, because we really want you to. And if like, for instance, Saddam's like, nah, I don't want to. Well, then then the second time they come in, they'll be like, well, you do it, or we're gonna really do some damage to your country, and by doing sanctions on you. And the sanctions come in, and if you still deny the Rothschild banking system in your country, then they start the phase of destabilization, where it's like they start making it, oh, these are the bad guys. Oh, we got a false flag attack from this country, or this country is invading another country. They're the bullies. We got to go in there and destroy them, or destroy their government, and hold fair elections, and then install a new central bank, which is going to be ran by the Rothschilds. And nobody knows, for the most part, nobody knows that this is happening, except for, I would say, probably maybe 5% of the population, maybe less than that, maybe 1%, who knows, but it can't be that much. And if it wasn't for our conversations, I mean, I wouldn't know half the stuff that I do now. I mean, would you say that's pretty fair about the Rothschild banking system, how they operate, or have you heard something different?
No, yeah, I agree. I pretty much agree exactly with what you said. I see it the same way. But I do think that there's more people now though that see it that something's going on. You know, I see a lot of stuff on social media now. People talking about the same kind of things.
Yeah. I see, what's his name? Jack, Posobiec. Is that his name?
I think that's how you say it, yeah.
Yeah. I watch what he posts, and he seems like he's getting more woke by the day. I'm not woke. I'm sorry. He's waking up more by the day. And I've seen stuff that Candace Owens and a lot of other people have been posting. Well, hell, even Elon Musk. We could do a whole episode on Elon Musk. But what do you think about that cat?
He's hard one to pin, man. I think all the stuff that's been going on lately with Twitter, you know, I've always wanted him to be a good guy, you know, on our side, humanity side. And lately it's looking more and more like he is. I think we both kind of talked in the past, I don't think that he's necessarily was there all along. I think maybe in the beginning, maybe unknowingly, you know, it came with all the things that he was involved in, SpaceX, you know, things like that. I'm sure there were a lot of people he had to rub elbows with that probably were globalists or, you know, part of the banking cabal. But I definitely don't think that's the case now. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. In the beginning, I'll be honest, I had no idea how to pin him. Some days when I would see what he would post and what he was doing, I would be like, dude, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Especially when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Remember when he was talking about
Yeah.
putting brain chips in everybody and shit? When he started talking about that, I'm like, dude, nah, red flag everywhere.
Big
I'm
time.
not doing this. I'm like, so let me guess what's going to happen. You know, everyone gets a brain chip, and then whoever controls the switch for whatever the computer that all the brains are in, I mean, they basically are God at that point.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know about this cat. And then he did kind of a 180 here in the last couple of months, especially like you said with Twitter. Imagine Elon Musk starting to talk about the dangers of censorship and how important the First Amendment and freedom of speech is. And he goes after what platform? He goes after Twitter. He goes after basically the lion's den of social media. Now, I know that, you know, there's other platforms that are, you know, probably bigger than Twitter or got more followers, especially with the bots. But look what he's doing right now. He goes in there, he sets a trap for them, he baits them. He shows the entire world that, hey, I'm ready to make this offer. Are you guys willing to buy? And they're like, we don't want to buy it. And we're going to do all this. And then everybody's like, wait, hold on, dude. He's offering you all kinds of money. You'd be stupid not to take it. And everybody knows anything Elon Musk touches turns to gold. So it's like, regardless if it's a good product or not, it's like, oh, Elon Musk made that. It's a flamethrower. I'll buy it. How much is it? $2,000. Nah, I'll grab two of them. You know, it's like everything this guy touches, it turns to gold. And you're not gonna sell Twitter to him. Surely Twitter would have went off if they would have sold it to him. And then they're like, you know, and then Elon puts out, hey, you know, well, you guys, you know, if you guys deny this offer, you know, you're not doing your, what do they say, fiduciary duty, something like that, where you're basically not doing your financial duty to your stock share or your shareholders. Put them on blast, and they're like, yeah, brilliant. And then they're like, okay, we'll do it. And then he's like, okay, well, show me the bots first. Prove to me that you have less than 5% bots or less than 10% bots, whatever it was. And they can't do it. Why? Because me and you talked about this before, because Twitter is filled with bots. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
Right.
And, but what we don't know is how many fucking bots are on Twitter? How many bots are there? Is there 10%? Is there 20%? Is there 30%? Is there 50%? All these people that we think that have 100 million followers, Obama and stuff like that, he's number one, you know, on there. Does he really have that many followers? Are they active? Are
Yeah, because they
they,
already came out and said what Joe Biden's half of his were bots.
was it half or?
I thought I heard half, but I wouldn't doubt if it's even more than that.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
would. Oh yeah. I mean, look at Joe Biden's. Anytime he talks on, I mean, because you know, I'll get like what do you call, you know, alerts or whatever that Joe Biden's, you know, doing a live speech or whatever, and I always look to see how many people that are actually watching this shit, and every time I look, it's like less than 20,000, and I'm like, if it's less than 20,000, how does he have millions and millions and millions of followers?
You know?
Every time I looked when Trump was talking, it was like, you know, 300,000, 400,000 people were watching what he was saying at any one moment, up to millions. And when Trump did his State of the Union speech, it was millions. It was millions and millions of people watching. When Biden did it, I watched the first like 3 seconds and I had to turn it off. I was like, I can't even listen to this guy. And yeah, it's what Elon Musk did for Twitter. It was absolutely amazing. It's waking up the normies now too. Everyone who thought that social media, YouTube, Google, all these big tech companies that weren't censoring people like us, now, you know, the curtain's being pulled away and they're like, oh, they were censoring, you know, everyone who didn't go against the narrative. And I'm not saying just conservatives, because I've been banned from Twitter twice, and I've been banned once or twice. No, I think it's 2 or 3 times, something like that. I've been banned a couple times from Twitter, and I've been banned a couple times from Instagram. You know, you can't say certain things. You can't
Right.
say certain things on those platforms, because they get you banned. Because somebody tattles, you know, reports you, and you get banned because they don't like hearing the truth. Or you can't cuss and swear at no one no more, which is bullshit. You know, I got a mouth on me, so you know, I when if somebody, you know, spits in my face, I'm spitting back, and that gets you banned. If as long as you're going against the narrative, you can spit in anybody's face you want to, as long
Right.
as you're on the left. But the moment that you spit back and you fight back, then all of a sudden, you know, you're a bully and you need to be silenced. But Elon Musk is exposing all that, and it's waking people up.
And
You
look
know?
how fast they're turning on him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude.
As soon as he really started, you know, going out there and especially with the freedom of speech, man. I go on there and I because I follow him on Twitter. I just got back on Twitter because I had my account deleted too. But now I go on there and I read the comments, man. People, I mean, who knows how many are actually really people, you know? There's probably a lot of bots still, I'm sure. But it's just crazy now, man. That anybody that goes against the narrative, man, they're coming for you.
Yeah, and that should show everyone right now that they're losing this, I don't even know what you want to call it, that they're losing the narrative. People are now asking questions, and they don't want that. The people that are in power, you know, I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger on my side. The people that are in power, they don't want people asking questions. They don't, especially like Elon Musk. See,
Right.
people like me and you, we're too poor. We're too poor to have fuck you money. Elon Musk has fuck you money. He can go on Twitter, make these, you know, offers and stuff. And who's gonna cancel him? You know, nobody's gonna cancel Elon Musk. What are you gonna do? Not buy his electric car? All you lefties over there, you're not gonna buy his electric vehicles. You've been touting these electric vehicles for so long. Of course you're gonna buy his electric vehicles. He's really the only game in town.
How many of them are selling them right now? Do you think just to protest him? No, there's some out there.
Oh yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
another company, isn't there now? Electric car that's starting to come up. Like I can't. It starts with the R. I can't remember.
Oh, they have to
You know what I'm
now
talking about?
because no, I don't know.
Revera or something like that.
I don't know. I'm sure they are, and they have to now because
Right.
now
Absolutely.
that Elon showed his cards and he's like, "Nah, I'm not on Team Bad. I might not be a good guy myself, but I'm gonna go on Team Good right now because you guys are lunatics." And so they know that, they don't want to support him or whatever. And so they're going to have to create a new car company. But here's the problem though. Who out there, name one car company that makes an electric vehicle better than Elon Musk?
Oh yeah, no one could touch it right now.
No, yeah, I mean, even
But
China.
they're gonna come after him though. They're gonna try for sure.
Oh yeah, I heard was it the SEC is coming after him for something about Tesla. I forget what it was. There's so much crap in the news lately, but I don't know. They're trying to sue him for something. Is it bogus? Absolutely. Is he get is go ahead.
I lost my backlight. Is it true? I saw something where he was trying to get his money back for the money he put down for Twitter, and they're not wanting to give it back to him. I haven't got a chance to dig into it. What do you
No,
know about that?
No, I don't know anything about that. I didn't hear anything about that. I know that Twitter is suing Elon Musk um for not like forking out the cash because like basically saying that, well, hey, we had an agreement, you're going to buy Twitter, and Elon Musk is like, yeah, I'm totally going to buy Twitter. Just prove to me that there's no bot, the bot level is below whatever the threshold was. I don't know if it was 5% or 10%, but he's like, prove to me that the bot level is below this amount and I'll totally buy Twitter. The Twitter board is refusing to do this, or they can't prove it. And so Elon Musk's argument is, well, why do I have to fork out what I told you what I was going to pay for when what I'm just asking is just prove to me that the bot count is lower than or is below what you say it is, or even at what you say it is. Because Elon Musk knows, I know,
Yeah,
everyone
everybody
knows that the bot count is way higher than that. And so that's what they're fighting about right now. Will Elon win? I'm sure he'll win, because if this ever gets brought to court, Elon can be like, okay, well, show me. And then they'll have to give the information they'll have to hand it over to the court, especially when, you go through the phase of discovery. When that happens, I'm sure the media is going to try to hide it or omit it or not talk about it. But at that moment, it will prove to the world that Twitter is filled with bots. What I'm interested in, or more interested even than the bot thing, because the bot's really for the normies, right? Because we already know that there's bots on the program and they shadow ban and silence. We already know that because we've already experienced it. But what I don't know, and what I want to know for sure, is if the United States government is involved in the social media platforms. Because if that is the case, if the United States government, like the FBI, the CIA, DARPA, I've been hearing DARPA's name a lot being thrown around with some of the code in Twitter and some of these other platforms, Facebook.
Yeah.
If that is the case, that means American taxpayer dollars are going into these free speech platforms or public platforms, silencing tax-paying citizens. So you're paying for your own censorship. When that comes out, the people, whoever's been silenced and whoever's been harassed by these big tech platforms, well, now they have a lawsuit. Now they have a case where they could push forward. And how many people is that? And will it be isolated just to the United States? I don't think so. I think it's going to go global. And if that's the case, you're talking about utter bankruptcy for some of these platforms. And not only that, but what is the American people going to think now? Like, you've been spying on us, you've been silencing us. Why are you doing it with our taxpayer dollars? Dude, people are going to be livid. People are going to be livid if that's truly how it is. I mean, Wouldn't you think that everyone out there that's been silenced, that figures out that their own taxpayer dollars silenced them, do you think that they're going to be a little bit pissed off?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's just like all these, people that have went along with the jab,
Yeah.
the WHO, a lot of people up until COVID probably thought that was a well-respected organization. Whatever information they come out with, they're giving that to you for the best interests of you and your family's health. And, I think both of us kind of, the way we see it now, it's pretty clear that they're on the other side. They've definitely been compromised. And I wonder if the organization, the WHO specifically, was created from the beginning with the intent to help push this agenda forward. You know
It
what I
sure
mean?
seems that way, doesn't it?
It sure does.
I mean, why else would we need a governing body that operates outside of all sovereign nations? That's,
Right.
I mean,
And look
how,
what's going on right now with what they're trying to do. I mean, you could probably talk on it better than I could. I think you paid a little closer attention than I have, but how they're trying to get it pushed through to where they can make anybody get vaccinated.
oh yeah, dude.
Suspend any constitution, right?
Yeah, they're trying to push this treaty, this World Health Organization pandemic treaty. And basically I mean, you could read it and we can go into more detail on it, like on another time, maybe on another episode. But what it comes down to is that under a global health emergency or crisis, all nations on the planet Earth will surrender their sovereignty to the World Health Organization. I mean, think of the stupidity behind that. Think about the absolute ridiculousness behind that. I keep on thinking about that, and I'm like, surely this must wake up so many people. Surely this must be like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, like wake up, ding, 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 like wake up, like we're surrendering our American sovereignty to who? The World Health Organization? Oh, you mean the dude that's getting bought and paid, or that has been bought off and paid for by the CCP? You mean that dude that like lied and tried to cover up and install and help the CCP as much as he could during the investigations a year ago, 2 years ago? You mean the same guy that was like, oh, nah, it can't spread, COVID can't spread, and then it could spread, and then we don't have nothing to worry about, and then all of a sudden, oh, we got a lot to worry about? I mean, first of all,
You're talking about Tedros or whatever, right?
yeah, Tedros or whatever the guy's name is, that I don't know if he's Indian or Pakistani or something. I don't know what he is, but the president or CEO, whatever the hell he is, of the World Health Organization, I'm supposed to give my sovereignty to that dude? Nah, And it's like, I think a lot of Americans at this point in time, I think a lot of Americans are like, nah, dude, nah, I'm not going along with this, especially after, 2 years of lockdowns and masks and stuff like that. People have reached a point where they're saying, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And I've been waiting for this moment like forever. Like since when they shut down the world, I thought people would be like, okay, wait a minute, we got to wake up here. Something's not right. They're shutting down the entire planet Earth. Something's not right here. Like there's something more to it than just a flu, a pandemic that has less than 1% death rate. There's got to be something more to it than that. I thought everybody was going to wake up then. And like you said, you told me you thought, that's when they were going to make a move. And I thought so too. And I didn't necessarily think that they were going to come like door to door, but I did think that, okay, well, I even remember, I remember talking to my wife, and I think somebody else was in the house too, one of my friends. And I remember hearing that we were all going to shut down. The whole world was 15 days to flatten the curve, 15 days to slow the spread, stuff like that. The moment I heard that, I said out loud, I was like, oh, so this is how they're going to get Trump out of office. I said, they're going to destroy the economy. And they're like, and I don't know if it was my wife or my friend at the time was saying, nah, dude, it's only 14 days or 15 days or whatever it was. And I was like, do you really believe that? You think it's only going to be 15 days? I was like, I bet you it's going to be more than that. And I bet you it's going to be all the way until the election, because we were like 7 or 8 months from 2020's election, and Trump had unstoppable momentum. Remember that shit, dude? Remember the Trump parades, the Trump trains. Remember that one Trump train that went like across 3 states, and like, I mean, he broke so many Guinness Book World Records for like biggest boat parade times 2, longest political train. I think he's got the longest caravan train for anything anywhere. He had all that momentum I've never seen a president have. And he lost to fucking Joe Biden. Come on, dude. No way, bro. No way. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. And when they shut down the world, I said that out loud, and I was like, this is how they're going to get Trump out of office. They're going to destroy the economy, and I was like, let me guess, we're going to do mail-in voting. At that time, I was halfway joking. And then sure enough, boom, they were pushing mail-in voting. And I was like, man, these sorry sons of bitches. I mean, it was to some of us, and I know that you saw everything the same way when I called you. You were like a breath of fresh air to talk to, because you were like, yeah, this is what I see too. And seeing what transpired after that, I was like, because we had the George Floyd riots, we had the BLM burning everything down and all that, and nobody said insurrection then, and nobody said, oh, this is violence, or it was peaceful protests and all that crap. And nobody bought it. Maybe hardcore people on the left bought it, but nobody that was either on the right or where we're at in the middle, nobody absolutely believed it.
That reminds me about what you said about when you were in Iraq, about how they would destabilize the country to weaken it. It's like, that's like the exact same thing they were doing.
Yeah, that's what it looked
for
like too.
2020. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
what-
obviously that shit was planned, dude. And
Yeah.
they were dropping off pallets of bricks. You know what I mean? Like, come
remember
on.
that? Remember that, bro?
Oh,
There was pallets of bricks. Pallets of bricks just showed up out of nowhere. Conveniently right
perfect
before
timing.
every single riot that happened. I'm like, and what even struck me as even weirder than that was the fact that where those pallets were of bricks, everything was destroyed. Everything was destroyed. All the glass was broken out of all the windows. Spray paint was everywhere. And the only buildings that weren't destroyed were banks. You notice that? How the banks were left untouched? And it's like, but you're so mad at the system, and you're so mad at white supremacy and the patriarchy and the system, but you're going to leave these banks alone? The ones that, these guys that are basically everything that you're saying that you hate in America, you're going to leave these things alone, but you're going to destroy old man Phil's like gas station, grandma's old bakery. You're going to destroy that, but you're not going to go after these banks, huh? Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because part of it is they know that in order to implement this globalist plan, this agenda 2030, or what's Klaus Schwab calling it now?
Isn't he calling it the Great Reset?
The Great Reset. Okay. They know they got to take out all the small businesses. Right?
Yeah, that's what
It doesn't work if you got the mom and pop shops open that are like, no, fuck your new world order or your digital currency. We're still going to do things the way we do it. So they know they have to have full monopoly. They got to have corporations that own everything. And that's, in my opinion, to me, that's what makes the most sense of all that we seen back in 2020. And I think we both agree that we're getting ready to see the same thing any day now.
Oh yeah, with monkeypox and all that crap. Yeah, but yeah, what you're saying about how them shutting down all the mom and pops businesses. I mean, how is it not any more evident? So let me get this straight. I could go to Walmart, but I couldn't go to, the small mom and pop grocery store. They had to be closed down, but Walmart could stay open. None of that made sense to me. And I was questioning, I would even ask people, I'm like, does this even make sense to you guys? I'm like, look, here's Walmart. How many people are in here? Like hundreds of people are in here, maybe thousands, on a busy day, because everything else was closed and you were funneled to go to Walmart. You were forced to order things on Amazon. You were forced to go to certain grocery stores. Does that make it?
To be fair, they were letting in, a certain number of customers, because I remember having to wait outside when they had like dots on the ground, like every 6 foot. That's how ridiculous it was. Yeah. And they were only letting in like so many people. Like there was quite a few stores doing it like this.
I remember they put remember when they put the fucking tape with the arrows?
Some of them are still there. Here in California, there's still some stores that have it still on the ground.
Oh my God.
It blows my mind. I take photos, dude, just to have records so I can show my grandkids one day.
Yeah, but how ridiculous this all is.
Yeah, exactly.
About what we had to live through. Yeah, I'm so glad I moved out of California. Don't get me wrong. I think in Walmart, they put like these stickers that said, stay 6 feet apart or something like that. And I think there for a while they had the arrows. And me being a dickhead, I would literally walk in the opposite direction of the arrows, and I wouldn't have a mask on. And I wore a mask at the very beginning because I didn't know if they really released something on us or not. But I even knew the mask didn't work. Even at the very beginning, I didn't know them. I knew the mask didn't do anything. And the reason why I knew that is because of all my training when I went to med school or respiratory therapy school. I knew the mask didn't work. I knew the mask could not stop coronavirus. That's what they even taught us. The masks don't stop coronavirus. When you're helping the pulmonologist or when you're helping a doctor in the ER room or something else like that, the reason why we wear masks was to prevent sputum and spit from dropping into an open wound on the patient. It wasn't so that the patient got us sick or we were going to get them sick. It's so your fluid didn't drop down onto them. And because like 90% or 99% of the time where most infections come from was from your sputum dropping into the patient. So I knew that the mask didn't work. Did I wear them at the very beginning? Yes, I did, for about, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe a month. And then I took that motherfucker off. And then even here in my state, I got looks like crazy. And when I went into stores, I didn't wear it. And I was like, they're like, sir, would you like a mask? I was like, nah, I'm cool. I was like, sir, you have to wear a mask. And I was like, look, dude, I have a condition. I don't have to wear a mask. I have a condition. Leave me alone. And they would. And I never had anyone ask me, or I had one guy at Costco one time ask me, sir, what condition? And I looked at him. I was like, what did you say? And I said it really loud, to be like, hey, I'm about ready to make a scene, bro. I'm the type of dude that's going to make a scene. Not that I want to, not that I want to be an asshole. It's just that I'm to the point where it's like, this is more important than me. It's more important. It's this, in order to fight back and stand up, it's more important than all of us. I feel like this is for the betterment of humanity, for people to get this shock. And so I remember the guy going, oh, after I started getting loud, he was like, oh, no, never mind, just whatever. And I didn't have too many problems, except for I went into a boba tea place. They asked me to wear a mask. I didn't wear a mask. And then luckily I ordered real quick, because the lady behind me, liberal, pink hair or blue hair, and her boyfriend, beta white dude, had like blue hair or whatever. They were sitting there yelling at me because the lady told me to put a mask on and I refused, and they had masks on, and he's like yelling at me, and I told him, to back the fuck up. And I called his lady a fat pig because she was kind of fat, and he didn't like that, but he couldn't do anything about it. And then they called the cops on me. The cops came, and I, the cops asked, he's like, do you want me to explain to you how the mandate works? And I was like, do you want me to explain to you how the mandate works? Have you read it? Do you want me to explain to you how it works? Because I read it at the time. And on the second page, at the bottom, it says, any federal law that supersedes this law, basically makes this mandate null and void. And one of the federal laws is the American Disabilities Act. You can say that you have, a disability. They can't ask it for it. They can't ask. And, even the cops can't ask. And so I never said that I had a disability. I always said that I had a condition. And if anybody was ever going to ask me what my condition was, I was going to be like, my condition is intelligence. I'm too smart to put on a mask because I know they don't work.
Hey, so we're at the 3-minute mark right now. You game to
Wow,
do-
dude, this goes by really
It
fast.
flies by. You game to do one more, or you want to wrap this up? And
Now we could do another one.
yeah, let's do another one.
Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know as of 10 o'clock.